fam, we're getting right into today's episode. It's a good one, it's a long one, and it's definitely a funny one that you don't want to miss. So let's get right into it. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I have with me Carlos Hernandez. He's comedian, actor, improviser, and writer.
Correct.
Yeah, and you are between Miami and New York, but you're doing comedy everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
all
just
over.
Do your work and look where he's at.
Exactly. Do your work.
Yes.
That's your work. Do your research.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We had the pleasure of meeting while creating content for Temesca.
Yes,
and
we did.
immediately I was like, you got to be on the pod.
You did say that.
Like your vibe was like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know.
I was like,
it's a very chaotic energy I bring to the table, but I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
Funny energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to think so.
You're just chilling.
Yeah, I'm vibing. Exactly.
Like, don't take things too seriously, and I love that.
I don't.
That's what this podcast is all about. So
exactly.
Is it? Okay, so
down to a T. Yeah. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, I'm T.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not the T, but a T.
A T.
And T also, is T supposed to be like, you spill the tea? Is it also like a little bit like that?
We like to joke sometimes,
Okay.
yeah. So you see, you're getting all the definitions.
I just wanted to make sure, I was like, oh, that's pretty clever.
All these meanings, yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Thanks.
Love
Wow.
Yeah.
So we start every podcast with the starting 5 questions to get to know you. Are you ready?
Okay, ready.
Okay, so have you ever had a skit that went all wrong?
A skit that went all wrong? Like me on stage? Or like... There's I started stand-up like 5 years ago, and the first time I did the Miami Improv, which was like when you do the improv and like you're like a starting comic, you do like these things called bringer shows that are like you're supposed to bring 10 people to basically like make sure that they're selling drinks and all that. So it's like you're part of like 12 people that like brought 10 people. It's not like they were like it's not like they had merit to be at the improv. So I was just like, I'm a few months in, I was like, come, I'm doing stand-up. And then I had this joke about my dad. It's a joke I still actually have in my act. That's very it's evolved like in years and years and years. But I was talking to this dude in the front row, and I was like, "Oh, hey man, do you have a?" I was like, "Oh, do you kiss your dad on the cheek before you leave the house?" Like that was like the premise of the joke, right? And then he looked at me and he was like, "My dad's been dead for 12 years," and then my heart sank, and like everybody in the room like was like, and I was like, "All right. Would you kiss your dad on the cheek like before he like I just like turned it like and then like made something like silly about it."
Damn.
But I remember in that moment I was like and then ever since I was like I'm gonna try to you gotta have some like you never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna happen. Yeah. Well, the improv came in handy on that part, but there when you like start doing crowd work and then they hit you back with like some trauma they haven't dealt with, you gotta like lock in and be
Have you seen that that kind of interaction is like trending on TikTok now, where people are sharing like moments they want to cry, like if they have a bad experience with like a flight attendant or
wait, what do you mean?
Like these kind of moments that you're saying, like these awkward interactions that are almost like cringe, that people are now sharing on TikTok, where it's like,
oh, they share like a story about it.
Yeah,
I guess I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and it's like a trend now where it's like people just share these like very cringe moments.
Yeah,
and like talk about how much they want to cry.
I mean, I guess that's easier than going to therapy. But
that's
I mean, if that's where you want to just publicize your entire trauma to the world.
That's how I learned that you're actually not supposed to touch flight attendants.
You're not supposed. Oh, dude, I found that out recently.
Yeah,
I've been playing so much. I literally. There was a lady that was like passing by. She forgot me because I was sleeping, and I see her like on the next road. They're bringing the water, so like, and I tap her, and she looks at me like on some like, and I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I mean, you were in. I was like, excuse me.
No, you're not supposed to touch them.
I know.
Yeah,
I found out. I mean, she didn't need to tell me, but I knew in that moment that I messed up.
And it's funny because I remembered a moment recently where I was touching the flight attendant because some girl was trying to get her attention, and she kept purposely ignoring me, and I'm like, yo, why is she ignoring me? But it was because I'm not supposed to be touching her.
But also like that's not say that in the thing.
Just say
be like, okay,
it.
if
just
emergency,
say nicely, yes.
Say it, like let the people that say it, like, by the way, you guys can't touch us. Like, also make sure that you put your things down whenever we tell you to. Like, you're telling us all these instructions.
One of the instructions should be you can't touch the flight attendant. Yes, I agree.
I don't know. I tap if someone's not listening. I'm gonna tap you to tell you what I'm trying to tell you.
Or if you forgot me and I'm dying of thirst and cookies and I just woke up or something.
Also, that's messed up. Like if I'm sleeping, don't assume I'm not gonna want like the little biscotti cookie that like I just leave it on leave it on my lap.
Leave it right there.
Leave it on the little flap.
Yeah.
Now I gotta like do a whole thing, look around to see who's there. Like, oh my god, now I'm dying of thirst and I gotta tap you. I gotta tap you to get this water. Gotta tap It's let us know. That's my message. Let us know.
We went so left with that question.
So I'm sorry. I'm very passionate.
No, that's
about
me.
This.
I'm the one that went off about learning about this. What show or film do you quote too much?
Oof. what show or film do I quote so much? I used to quote a lot, not even a quote, I would always say, like Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's always like, pretty good. Yeah. I'd always just do that for a long time. Probably when I was growing up, I used to quote The Office all the time.
I quote The Office till this day.
Because that's all I would ever watch. You know, like I sometimes start a sentence and I don't know where it's going or type vibe. And then like half the things I say.
Why are you the way that you are?
Why are you the way you are? Like, you know, how dare you? You know, that's what she said. That's everybody quoting. That's what she said. Yes. So I think most people, like I guess it's The Office and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Once in a while,
there's some people out there who don't like The Office, and
I don't know. Those people are just, they didn't give the first season a chance. It's like someone that didn't like Breaking Bad, and it was like, what are you talking about? You're wrong. Sometimes opinions are wrong. I really do believe that. Yeah.
What's your most random hyperfixation right now or like in the past?
Hyperfixation? What? I don't mean to be an immigrant about this, but what is that? What do you mean by hyperfixation?
How would you describe hyperfixation?
Like something you obsess over.
Like something you're obsessed, like something very like that you're just obsessed consuming,
Consuming, like it's like content that I'm consuming, like hyper.
No, like something that's consuming you, like that's all consuming.
Oh, dude, my hair, because like I'm losing it because obviously I'm 30 and I'm Latino, so like I have to. So like now I'm like finding all these ways to make it look fuller than it is, and now I'm just dreading the fact that I'm gonna have to pay $4,000 and go to Turkey eventually. But like that's right now, that's my hyperfixation. It's like that's the thing that I'm like, oh God, here we go. It's going back and it's going back, and I'm like, here, you know what I mean? And so, and I don't want to do it. You know, you look great, you know, but like I don't have a head for that. I know I don't have a head for that. You know when you know, I know this is not that. I'm not gonna look like Pitbull. Like I don't have a head for. So like every day I'm just like, let me make sure like, you know how it is. So
yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a bad one, but
it's a good bad one.
Yeah, it's a bad one, but it's a good one because maybe some people haven't been able to admit that in this podcast, and I'm willing to get down to a T and tell you.
Well, thank you for sharing.
And the T being turkey. That's
down to a T turkey.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
When did you first realize, oh, I'm actually funny to strangers?
Right now. No, I'm kidding. Just having this group of Venezuelans laugh is always fun. I think when I realized I was in class, and it was junior year of high school. And I always thought I was funny, or like I was like I was a comedy fan. Like I was like 12 years old, like watching SNL and thinking I was like the smartest guy in the room, even though I barely spoke English also because I had just moved here. So like I had to just like fuck around and like, I don't know, can I curse here? I don't know.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Just like I was like messing around with my friends, and like I would always like try to be funny. But when I knew that I was like, okay, I'm certified somehow funny, is because I was in a class. I was like in an IT class in junior year because in my school we went to this like magnet school where you had to be like pick your major basically. Yeah. Even like and my major was like IT and communications. And I was in this class, and my teacher was like in the middle of a lecture, and I don't remember what I said, but in the group of it was like 3 of us. Yeah. Not all of us couldn't stop laughing at what I had said, and I also was laughing. When one person laughed, other people laughed, and more people laughed. And then the teacher was like, "Carlos and Brian, go in the back of my office right now." And we couldn't stop laughing while he was telling us like to go to his office. Yeah. And everybody was, and I was like, "Yo, this. I know this is a bad thing, but I'm like, if I'm getting in trouble for laughing and making people laugh, send me to jail." You know, like I was just like, it felt like a good feeling. Yeah. And even when we got in trouble, I was like, that was funny. Like I was just like, and that
early on
in that moment I knew. And then I took like drama class the next year in senior year. Yeah. And that's kind of how I got into like this aspect of my life.
What an early enlightening.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And I didn't do anything with that until I was like 21, 22. Yeah. But you know, that's kind of the first spark of it that I was like, oh, I can also do this, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. In a way, some way, shape or form. Yeah.
So what's something people don't get about bilingual or bicultural comedy?
Something people don't get about bilingual, bicultural comedy. I think I do comedy in both. So I do comedy in Spanish and in English. And, you know, sometimes it's fun. It's difficult to see it from like, I don't fit in anywhere because like I can do both, and I can do stuff in Spanish, and I wasn't born here. I was born in Mexico. My parents are Cuban. What am I? I look white, but I'm not. Like it's all these like not trying to fit in. But when you like deep in, like, you know, delve into that and go from that perspective, there's so many people like that are like, bicultural, and they don't even know how to like put it together because they felt they had to be something else, or just like try to fit in and then just become that thing and ignore the fact that they like were born in another country, or that they like speak a whole other language, that they like do things on Christmas and like throw buckets of water outside the house, like things people do that like they just were like Americanized because like they were so like traumatized or pressured to be so. Like I have friends that were literally born in another country, speak Spanish, and you would never guess that they speak Spanish just because they don't ever use it in life, or even other comedians that I know don't use it. So I think it's fun to just like be able to delve into that, because there's a lot of like people in the culture that just are bicultural, bilingual, and you kind of have to just be able to do both. So I don't know if I answered the question.
You did, no. Which leads us right into our conversation. Did you ever feel like you had to assimilate, or were you always like embracing of your bicultural?
I think a little bit of both. Like I came to this country when I was 10 years old. I was born in Mexico. My parents are Cuban, so in Mexico, kids would call me Cuban. Like they'd be like, "Hey, Cubanito," and then like I came here, and I came from Mexico to Hialeah, Florida, which is basically like little Cuba. So they were calling me Mexican, and I'm like, I don't even know what do you mean? They were just calling me Cuban here, and so I kind of like had to fit in, and like because of that, every time I spoke to another person in Spanish, my accent would always just like go to whatever their accent was. Like if I spoke to a Venezuelan, I would just start being like, "No, mi pana, no sé qué puedo decir." Like I was just like diverging through my like Argentinians. I'd be like, "No sé qué te va." Like I would just try to match them so they felt comfortable. And then in English, I would try to perfect my English as much as I could, even though I have like a Miami accent as hell. But like, you know, that assimilation of like, not even with just American people, but with other immigrants over here, like from other countries, like I would just be like, I'm like you, even though, and then they'll find out like, wait, what? You're not from Colombia? Why do you sound like, why are you saying gonorrhea or whatever?
I feel like that.
But yeah, I think like naturally I just did that.
I feel like that shapes you as a comedian though, and I feel like because you've had to read the room.
Yeah,
and you're
100%.
saying like, oh, I'm speaking to Venezuelans, I'm speaking to Colombians this way. And so much of comedy is reading the room.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's not even about like, oh, you got to match that person's accent for them to know that they're like you. Obviously, eventually I learned that. But it's just like, now it's just another skill that I have to be like, oh, well, if I'm going to play a Dominican, or I can just do the accent and then go back to my normal neutral accent or whatever. So everybody's like in it at the same time. Yeah.
So what do you feel as a comedian is something that doesn't, like, what is something that you wish you could talk about more, show more of a certain side of yourself that you don't feel like you get to because people just think you're the funny man?
That's a good question. You mean like on stage or just in general?
Just in general, yeah.
Just like the fact that I'm like depressed, and I'm kidding.
I was like, we can go down that route.
Honestly, I don't know. I try to be as in my comedy and in like what I do. I normally try to be as much me as I am.
Okay.
Like I come into a set, and this is the energy you will feel in a set. I'm not like playing a character or like being someone I'm not. I'm just more animated and more like on stage, you know? So it's on that aspect. But because I do comedy, like, you know, I don't want to get heavy, but like, you know, stuff that's happening around the world, like with immigration right now, like, you know, like in LA and everything that's happening with ICE and all that, like I'm an immigrant. I came to this country technically illegally, if you really get down to the nitty gritty. Most of my family did too. So like that type of topic, I have jokes about it that kind of come off as like a joke, but you know, there's certain times that you're like, this is like an actual thing. Like I want to like talk about this because I know it affects people that were like me 20 years ago, that, you know, you kind of want to like talk about it without, but also you feel inclined to make it funny, and you like have like things, like I have a clip that I'm like gonna post soon that's like about that, of like feeling like I'm not Mexican, I'm not Cuban, I don't know what to fit in, because like they took off all these laws like for Cubans to like feel like, so now they're deporting Cubans that were once, you know, which are the most Americans, because they were like, oh, when they got to the country they're just like American, American, and now they're sending these Americans back to Cuba as well. And then Mexicans, you know, they're here, most of them are here working, and they're just like serving us, they're like doing everything, they're in the back of the kitchen, they're like working, and then they're like treating them like criminals, which is like horrible. So like, it's like, what do you even identify as at that point, you know, because you don't want to hurt anybody, but it's talking about it is important at the same time. Yeah, it almost is like, if you're making jokes about it, you almost don't care about it, but it's actually the complete opposite. Exactly. That's how I see it. So it's like, like I have a joke, like I'm like, I don't even know if to identify as Mexican or Cuban, so now I'm just gonna be autistic. Like it's just like, it's easier because you get around easier now. You got a lot more privileges just claiming autism as opposed to claiming anything else. I'm just saying, and as this is, I'm saying this as a neurodivergent person myself, so it's fine. But these are the things you gotta talk about these things, and you gotta find an angle that's let's still make it funny and not offend anybody. But you know, yeah.
This reminds me of when I'm on a comedy show and someone takes it like a level too far, but I'm like trying not to laugh, but like don't know if it's right for me to laugh.
I mean, if someone's trying to do something, this is my perspective, is like, if they're trying to make you laugh, they're not trying to offend you. So like, at least be aware that like, oh, this person's at least trying to like step over the foot and see where the line is. Yeah. So like, at least be aware of that.
Have you ever made a joke and it just
bombs?
Like, no, but like bomb, but in a way that it was offensive. Like,
maybe sometimes, but like, and the intention is never that. But some people just hear a trigger word and it gets them right away. Like, it's just like something that will, like, you know, I have a joke about my dad, like that whole joke about like, oh, my dad is a super like, he's like macho, he's Cuban, he's like, you know, one of these guys like, oh, you know, you're un hombre type guy. But at the same time, like, if I ever leave the house without giving him a kiss on the cheek, his entire energy changes. You know? Like, he'll be
that's
like,
actually really cute.
Yeah, no, genuinely, like my dad's like that, but he'll be like, "Y mi beso, ¿dónde está mi beso?" Like he'll just get like that, and then I say that on stage, and then I'll be like, so I got to protect his masculinity. What I do now, I give my dad a kiss on the cheek, but I whisper "no homo," like just for him. And then if I say that word "no homo," people just immediately are like, "Whoa, that's homophobic," and it's like there's layers to that. I'm not even making fun of gay people or homophobia or like whatever. It's just like the fact that my dad is that ridiculous about it that I have to do that for him. Like, so it's just like little jokes like that you hear a word and it's like, fuck you. You know what I mean?
I love seeing men that they have to say "ayo" or pause now.
Yeah.
That's like the new.
Exactly. Because
no
of that.
like,
Which is almost, I don't even know what's worse. Because like, well, no homo was pretty bad, but like, you know, it's just, it's a funnier thing to say now.
Yeah, it's almost like a disclaimer, especially in New York City. It's like, ayo, pause.
Ayo, pause. Yeah, just by eating a hot dog. Like, you're just like,
you eat a hot dog. Pause.
I don't even know the last time I ate a hot dog anymore, just because of that. It's like, everybody's pausing. I know.
I thought we've advanced as a culture.
That's what I thought too, but like, it's just like, I got friends that are like still stuck in the old ages. Yeah. I don't need them to be sending in a group chat and be like, ayo, pause. And like, you know. And my dad sees the picture.
Let the man eat a hot dog.
I know, just let me eat a hot dog, dude. Bananas, hot dogs, lollipops, they're good. And now we're like, being weird about it.
Just imagining you in the bathroom.
Just by myself, just eating just all my hot dog stash, my banana stash, my lollipops. Just like, oh my gosh, in case they don't see me.
So is there a difference? We talked about, me and you are both, honestly, between Miami and New York.
We're in planes all the time.
Yeah, we're in planes all the time.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between Miami and New York humor, do you feel?
Genuinely, I think it's not, yes, 1,000% there is. But like in Miami, people are,
where do you like telling jokes more?
Where do I like telling jokes more? I like telling jokes in New York more now because I feel like I don't have to divert. The clutch in Miami is always just like speaking Spanish or like being extra or like doing something like saying Hialeah or saying Miami things. Like in New York, you're not gonna get an easy laugh by saying Brooklyn, like, you know what I mean, or the Bronx. Like, you might, but it doesn't necessarily happen. And in New York, the people that are going to comedy shows, most people are tourists. So like, at least like at the Stand or like New York Comedy Club, Comedy Cellar, these are people that you're kind of performing for like a unanimous audience that you don't know who's in there. Yeah. And most of them are not even from New York. So it's like you're performing for more people from outside as opposed to in Miami. People that go to comedy shows in Miami are most likely going to be people in Miami. Yeah. So I enjoy performing more because I'm able to like do jokes in places that like, oh, this is going to work in Austin. Oh, this is going to work in Delaware. Like, it's just like in places, as in Miami, specific jokes, it depends if they work or not, because you're dealing with very specific things in Miami that make.
So if you're doing like a tour as a comedian, do you essentially have to change your scale?
You got to adjust it a little bit. Like, there's a little bit of a speed, like it's like pivoting, you know, you got to pivot to where you are. Like, you always want to start a set, like talking about the people or like where you are at that moment. Like, you know, just to put them on your side and your perspective on what that city is or what that thing or where you're performing at is, just to like, everybody already is like together on that. And then you get to like your material and go for it from there. But yeah, depending on the audience, like, you know, reading the room, like if there's, you got to see what's hitting, what's not, what you want to like hit like differently. So you're going with your set, but you still should be able to pivot based on the response on your set. That's how I see it.
So I'm going to get deep for a second. I have a deep question.
Go for it.
Okay. Do you see your humor as an armor or as a weapon?
Whoa. Dude, this is therapy, actually. That's crazy. That's insane, dude. As an armor, like protecting myself
Yeah.
so I don't deal with like actual emotions.
Yes. Or do you see it as a weapon, like you're trying to cause impact?
Cause
Or
impact.
change people's lives.
Whoa. I mean, then definitely that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I do humor to just like, no.
No, there's some people who have humor as like a way to protect themselves or
Defense
a
mechanism.
defense
Yeah.
mechanism. Like that's
I mean, I think every comedian that started comedy has a little bit of that.
Yeah.
For sure. Like you're like obviously a little, you put your walls up and you meet comics all the time. All they do is crack jokes outside of the stage.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, bro, you need a hug? Like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Why are you constantly like running bits or like riffing? Like, let's just chill for a sec. But I don't think it's an armor because I've always just like used to, like, I see it as fun. I consider myself a happy person. So I don't like go about it from that perspective. But if it comes to a weapon, it's a weapon not to like roast people. I don't see it like that either. I see it as just like, like I want to like make you happy, hope your night goes well, and all
maybe
together
weapon's not the
laugh at
right
this.
word. It's
Yeah.
mostly like when you look at comedians, sometimes there's some who like the way that it makes them feel, but there's some who like the way it makes others feel.
I've always been, and this is something I learned in improv. Like, before I did stand up, I did improv. I think it's easier it's better when you are playing to the audience, but still enjoying what you're doing upstage yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're like, this is for them, but obviously make sure that it makes you happy as well. Like I don't like if I did a joke that I consider hacky or like I know it's gonna kill, but I think it's hacky, I'm not gonna feel happy doing that joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes
so
sense.
it's like you feel a little bit like you're cheating if you're doing it just for the audience, but you should still have a little bit of both. So you can be like, I'm working on a new joke. It's working. Oh my God, it's edgy. And then they're like laughing at it. So that's the ideal scenario. It's not just all like, easy laughs either. Yeah.
Thank you for answering that.
Of course, I tried my best.
I feel like you would know how to answer this.
Yeah.
Or be honest answering this actually.
Okay.
What's one trend in 2025 that's making you feel like we're done as a society?
Whoa. That's a good one. Damn,
For
let
me,
me think.
it's Labubus.
Labubus?
Yeah.
That's like what do you think that's like it's like the same thing as everything.
People are
It's like
making lines for
Tamagotchi.
that.
It's Tamagotchi. It's like the little tiny little dolls that were there last year. Those little like naked Chinese
I guess.
dolls.
You know what?
Asian dolls.
Yes.
My bad. Or
Disregard.
whatever.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, people are really making lines for this. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe that's me aging myself.
No, I
But,
get
like,
it. No. It's a thing. It's silly. I think a trend in 2025. What's something that's like a thing right now? I think probably what you said. Like talking about I don't know. I feel like they should have like a cap off for like the age people do TikToks like what you said, like that are complaining about cringy things.
Yeah.
If you're like in your 40s doing that,
Yeah.
I don't want to be in my 40s being like, you know what's cringy? Like it's just like I don't think that's and I respect everybody, but if you're a kid, that's a young dude's girls game,
Yeah.
So like the oversharing of absolutely everything through TikTok in a way that it's like you're trying to like take down a little mom and pop shop for like I don't know, just like little
Not
thing.
having gluten-free options.
Yeah,
or something.
any of those things that I'm like, yo, guys, let's chill. Remember when we had fun?
Yeah.
Like every other thing you see on TikTok is like complaining about this other establishment or this one thing, and it's like, yes, thank you, fair. But you know how much hard work it probably took those people to make that little small business, and then like one day something happened, and it's like your day is ruined now. Your day is ruined.
Yeah.
We have Wi-Fi in airplanes. Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's fine. You know what does bug me though? This is completely unrelated. And you've been in New York longer than I have. How is there no AC in the subway system?
Great
Can
question.
somebody please it irks me to a core. When it was December and it was 11 degrees in here, I was like freezing and I would walk down the stairs and I'm sweating cold. It makes me upset, and I think we have to change that as a society. And that's a trend that is not on 2025. That should be AC on subways.
If you dig deeper though, it's just like
I know it's a whole
funding,
thing. I know it's everything, and
politics.
It's like how is that
system.
politics though?
It always goes, yes, because they gotta fund the right politicians have to fund the subway system.
Everybody would be
their
happier.
money
Everybody
into?
would be happier in the city. I truly believe it.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody in New York is their mood is dictated by something else. The summer hits, everybody's like, the sun is out, we're happy, and then it's like we're gonna be
Somebody's
depressed
take was
for 3
that
months.
if
Though
you invest in an AC there and you make it more comfortable, then a lot more homeless people will be in the subway system.
let them,
Yeah.
let them. I don't care, dude. As long as if
That
I'm not
was what-
sweating,
That's what I've heard.
if I'm not, they're gonna. By the way, they're still gonna be there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what are we talking about. So we're gonna just because there's a few homeless people, we're just not gonna like be comfortable. As like I had to take 3 trains to get here.
Damn.
I was sweating, dude. I wanted to be able
Our
to have
bad.
AC. No, it's fine. Like,
Okay, so before we end the episode, I
Yes.
wanted to ask you, because there's these huge TikTok debates this year, and they all target men.
whoa.
Oh, like the man
100
versus
men
bear.
versus one gorilla.
Oh, God.
Or being with a man or a bear in the woods. As a man, and comedian, what is your take on these?
Being with a man.
Yeah, there's
I haven't seen the second one. What's that one?
it's women answering whether they would rather be trapped in the woods with a man or a bear, and most women are saying a bear.
Well, that's insane. What are we doing here? Who are these women dating? That's crazy. What is their argument for a woman saying, I'd rather have a thing that will kill me for sure, or a thing that will pretend not to kill me? You know
That
what I
if
mean?
they supposedly if you stand still around a bear, he like actually won't attack you, or they won't attack you.
Supposedly, by the way.
Maybe.
Yeah, supposedly.
But there's like a bigger risk with men attacking you in the woods or like being creepy.
But
versus,
hold on. Do you get to choose the man you're with, or just a random man?
No, just a random man.
Just a rat?
So you just
Like a guy that's sleeping on like the L train on Bronx?
it could be any man. Just
Okay,
a
but you
random
gotta, it
man.
depends on the man.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the man. I wouldn't want to
But
be.
they're saying
yeah.
if they had to flip a coin and
Mm.
they're in the middle of the woods and it's some sort of weird hypothetical challenge,
Yeah.
the women would choose the bear.
I don't know. I feel like that's just for they're saying that without any actual basic knowledge. But I think it all depends on the men. I really do believe that. You can't just be like a bear barely has a personality. They're all gonna eat you alive no matter what. It's not like, oh, this one does finance. No, the guy it's like no, the guy it's a bear. You're gonna get eaten alive by the bear.
If you stand still, there's a
possibility. How long can you stand still? What are we talking about?
Maybe the bear will go away.
You've moved your legs like 3 times since we've done this podcast. You think you're gonna stand still in the middle of? I would not even. I would choose a man myself, dude. Like I would. Why would anybody choose a bear? Just because like men are dangerous and like we're like.
Haven't you seen that trend also, like propaganda I'm not falling for, and people say like supporting men or like.
I have seen that. You know what it is, dude?
Yeah.
I think men had a bad rap, and I think men are trying to be better, and then like Trump won, so everybody's like, "Oh, men won again," and it's like, yeah, but you know how, and this is a controversial opinion. I'm gonna say this. Women are up, okay, dude. Women are so up. It's great. I know. You guys think you're like, no. It's like, no, dude. There's that male loneliness trend is a thing for a reason. Women are like having houses, dude. The women I'm dating, these girls, they have mortgages, dude. It's like you guys are so up because you chose to like not focus on that toxic dude, and then you like became a bad bitch. And there's the amount of bad bitches there are supposed to like fucking finance dudes or whatever you want to call it, like the pinnacle of a man. It's a lot more. So I think if I was stuck in the woods, I would choose a woman. Honestly, that's what I would say. That's the main.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
That's the
And I feel
conclusion.
like men, the dudes started getting a bad rap. You got to be better. And if guys are not learning to be better by now, by 2025, 25 with ChatGPT and all that, like don't ask
Please
Andrew
don't use
Tate for advice.
ChatGPT.
Ask ChatGPT. Like be like, yo, how should I reply to this text that she's
Okay.
emotionally kind of draining me, but I don't know how to answer properly because I will fuck it up. So ask how you answer, and then you answer properly. ChatGPT helps you out. The relationship stays afloat. That connection you have with that woman, you use the help of a robot, but at least you're learning how to be a
Have
human
you used
being.
ChatGPT in dating?
1,000%. I say this, I have. I really have.
Yeah.
I date Latin women. You think I can answer to every single long message? Like I have to.
And you find it works, it's successful.
I do. I really do.
Okay.
And honestly, I'll stand on this hill. I think it does. As opposed to not answering properly, I rather answer with some basis and some research that the artificial intelligence has done for me, because I'm not intelligent enough to answer to a message that I might fuck up and mess up everything.
Wait, but what happens when you're in person and you're not responding or communicating the same way that
You
you
listen.
did?
You're like, I'm sorry. You're right. That's what in person you do that.
Yeah.
But in text.
That's like 2 different people.
No, it's not 2 different people, because the ChatGPT knows me. It's like, hey, Carlos, it knows everything I do. It knows everything. It knows me better than me. So at this point, I'm like, how would I answer if I was in a state of mind that's healthy and I could answer this person?
So funny, because I was telling Tulio,
It's
our
real.
producer, that I legit talk to my ChatGPT like that.
I do too.
I'm like, hey, you know me.
Yeah.
So I need you to help
Have
me.
you ever used ChatGPT for like personal interactions?
Yes, I once got in. This is the worst thing I'm ever going to admit on the podcast.
Here
ever.
we go, dude. Because I
went-
get all these questions asked to me, and I gotta be like the bad guy.
I got into a disagreement with my husband once.
Here we go.
And truly, I was like, this argument is going nowhere. So I was like, what? I
How do I win? That's amazing,
So
dude.
I asked ChatGPT, I was like, how can I respond in a way that just ends this? I don't need to win, but how do I end this in a way that just says like,
And
I
it was a
hear
text?
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it work?
It did.
And what do you say? You're right, babe. I'm sorry.
It was just like, they said in a very smart, intellectual, oh my God, he's going to kill me for knowing that I did that once, but I don't
It's
do
fine.
that
He doesn't
every
know what
time.
message
It
it
was
is.
just one time.
Just the one time. You're going to do it again. The fact that it worked, you're going to do
It
it
did.
again.
It worked. It shut down the conversation.
Because then you look at it, you're like, oh my God, that's great. Like, if
But
I
to
got
be
that
fair,
response.
we have the intention because we're
yeah.
sending the message. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. That's the
what I'm
thing.
saying.
Intention matters more than like the actual thing that you do. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Wait, but you skipped over 100 men versus one gorilla.
Oh, I think the gorilla would win 1,000%. I think we're being silly with that one.
Yeah.
Like the gorilla, come on, dude. Like this guy, you know, it doesn't even need to be King Kong.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the fact that Harambe got taken down because it was just a dude like a pistol or whatever like through there. It was a whole thing, and Harambe was a big dude. So like I think you'll if it's just like a regular gorilla, just like a, you know, eats a couple bananas, he's like good, he's chilling, he might eat some hot dogs, you know, pause. But like it's like a healthy gorilla. If I went with 100 of my friends, if I went with 99 of my friends, all of us would get taken down immediately. None of us have the willpower. None of us have that willpower. None of us have the strength to do that. I think the people that do, like let's say like a bunch of like, I don't know, Joe Rogan listening dudes that like are like, you know, like pumped up and stuff. I think those guys don't even have the amount of like emotional intelligence to how to like you know, try to talk to the gorilla, try to simmer him down. It's all gonna be violent. They're gonna get like 1, 2, 3 dudes to smack all the other dudes. It's just. It's insane to like think you could do that. I think gorillas are their own. We should leave them alone. I don't even know how this conversation, how that started. Like, why did somebody actually think?
I
that?
think it was a part of this anti-man campaign for 2025.
It was so. Is this actually a thing? Anti-man campaign.
No, I'm just naming it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm just giving it a name.
You're coining.
Wait, I'm
us
not
as
coining
that.
this. I don't want to start it, and then Thatiana started this anti-man campaign.
Down to a T supports the anti-man campaign. That's all. Let's put that. Let's put that on a headline, dude. Remezcla. Down to a T supports anti-man campaign.
I do not. Okay.
Okay.
There's some good men out there, right? I'm married
Yeah.
one, so
Exactly.
I can't be anti-man for
That's
living.
what I'm saying.
Whoa. We're not gonna
Do you
give him that
think?
much.
Do you think?
We're not gonna give him that much.
Do you think
praise.
your husband and 99 of his friends would beat a gorilla?
No.
And your husband?
He would
Where's your
probably
husband from?
He's Puerto Rican.
Dude, are you kidding? I would think they could. You know what I mean? It depends the type of man.
I think he would maybe say that he could. I don't know.
Oh, he 1,000% will say that he could. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm humble enough to know I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or any other people that I know.
Yeah. But I would trust him in the woods.
You would trust him in the wood?
If I didn't know
Over a
if
bear.
I didn't know him over a bear, yeah.
100%. Good. I'm glad. So this is Down to T supports man again. That's
But we're not like, some men are shaky.
some men are
okay?
shaky. Yeah.
Let's put that disclaimer in there.
1,000%.
Yes.
I don't think anybody would disagree with you. on
Yeah.
that.
Even though you said that women are
What?
like
Are up?
we're up. We're getting up, yes.
Oh, 1,000% women are up. I mean, there's not in every way.
Yeah,
but
not in every way, yes.
In most ways,
Yeah.
in the real life, getting to the nitty gritty of it,
Yeah.
dude. A girl
like
buys
that,
you a
though.
drink, you feel different. You know what I mean? You don't even ask for it. She
We
put the
are
card
we
down.
are in
You're like,
positions to buy drinks.
it's
now.
it's a beautiful thing. It's great. I think it's great. I think it evens the playing field in a beautiful way. I say that in all support, dude. Most of my friends are women, so
Yeah. Love that.
and that's why I don't think most of my friends will beat a gorilla because they're mostly women.
Well, way to turn that around. Okay, so we start every episode with what's on my mind.
Yes.
So I'm gonna flip the question to you. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind?
Yeah. What's something that's consuming you? Something that you've been thinking about, random thought, high thought.
What's something? I think the subway thing was the thing. That really, I
Yeah.
haven't stopped thinking about this since
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Putting ACs in subways.
Putting ACs in subways, I think, is the move. I think New Yorkers got to learn to like be more aware of their emotions and not let it dictate them by like the circumstances. I feel like this is what I've noticed, like the fact that there's a term for seasonal depression that you guys are like, no, for 3 months we are going to be sad and we're all justified to feel sad. And like, we're going to wait for the sun. Once the sun comes out, we're going to go outside and that's when we're going to be happy again. And we're going to have the parades and we're going to have all this. And it's like, we're going to wait for June for Puerto Ricans and gay people can have fun. And it's like, no, you can do that all year round. And
Right, but like, how
if
you
there's
throw a parade in the snow?
figure it out. Like there's ways to do it. What do you mean? Look at Santa Claus. He's out here vibing with like all these, like there's
Okay, there's a
ways
Thanksgiving parade. You're right.
I don't think we got to learn that yes, it's cold, but we can still have fun in some way
That's
outside.
a very Miami response.
I know that, and
Yeah.
I'm fully aware of that. And
Yeah.
I say this as someone that lived here through the winter. I know it's like, but the way that everybody's
Yeah,
just
but when
pretends.
your ears hurt and
Yeah, but like what?
the wind is hitting your face.
So you're just living for 3 months out of the year, 3 months out of the year. So you're
not,
telling
you're
me,
right. No, I think you're right. Yeah.
yeah, if you're living in New York, and you live to 70 years old,
Yeah.
whatever 3 months, just 3 months out of
Yeah.
those years, that's basically you lived for 27 years or something. I don't know
Yeah.
the math, but I think we got to learn to be able to have, or like if the subway's late, everybody's like, oh my God, I got to do this. It's like, I don't know. I don't think I think we all should be allowed ourselves to be late.
Yeah.
Also a Miami
As
thing
someone
to
who was
say.
late today, he's trying to justify his tardiness today.
Yeah, I'm just saying because my mood gets shaken because I'm like, well, fuck, I gotta take the train, and then we all like are like, we all know that
this
struggle.
is the most Miami response.
I know, but I think we gotta get a little bit of Miami and New York, and that's why I'm here.
Because
everybody's too high strung.
When
here.
I'm walking around Miami, I look like a crazy person. I'm like, I'm like moving.
I'm
so
not.
fast.
I'm not. I'm in my car. I'm driving. I'm chilling. Like if I'm late, it's my decision. If I'm like, and everybody else is too. If I'm sad,
People
it's
in
on
Miami
me.
are so late. Even
100%.
concerts, bro.
Oh, bro, tell me
I
about
just
it.
went to a concert in Miami.
Which one, Shakira?
Raul Alejandro.
Oh, I was there. Yeah,
Ah.
he came out like, dude, and I
Bro.
knew to get there at 10 o'clock. But you
The
gotta just
concert
know. Mm-hmm.
started at 8. I thought in my head, let me show up at 9 because that's usually when artists time, and I thought that was still wallin because I was like, sometimes they come out like 8:45.
Yeah.
But we get there at 9, the arena's empty.
Oh yeah.
Empty.
But I love that. I love that people in Miami already
to the
know.
point where I parked my car and I thought something was wrong, and me and Matt looked at the ticket because we thought maybe it was
Was
the
it
wrong
tomorrow
day.
or it
Yeah,
got
we were like,
canceled?
oh shit, did we come the wrong day? Because the garage was empty.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, what is happening? It's 9 o'clock. We get to the arena, it is empty.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, Latinos in Miami are a different
Different breed.
species. What?
Yeah, I went to the concert here in Brooklyn in
Yeah.
Barclays. I went to the Raul Alejandro here and the one in Miami.
What time he came out?
In New York, he came out. I was late to the one in New York because I was thinking
See?
about it with the Miami perspective. So I got to that concert like at 9:15.
Yeah.
He was already like on his third song.
See?
I got to the concert in Miami at 10:15. There was still the little trailer playing.
Yes.
Like, like it was
Bro,
just like,
10 o'clock,
and it was
me?
the same
Yes.
exact start time, by the way. Yeah, but you gotta know. You gotta just know. You
I
gotta
was
just
like,
know.
this is why. Because they're just like,
That's just
la,
how we.
la,
I
la.
don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how to excuse it. I think it's just the
It's
idea
a
of
good
like
pace of life. It's good. Yeah.
it's more because also Miami people are also stressed out of their mind half the time too. So it's just like it's weird. It's an interesting thing for like a Miami person to try to not be late,
Yeah.
and then they're constantly late, but then they'll give you shit when you're late. Like when I'm early somewhere, oof, I'm giving you so much shit when you're late. Oh my God. But I'm late most of the time.
Yeah.
But I still am like, bro, I've been waiting for like 30 minutes,
Yeah.
even though I've only been there for like 5. But like it's fun to just like it brings a nice energy out of you when you're the early one. It's like a little like I walked in here, everybody was like, I felt like I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, and it's like that energy. But then you guys were all like, yeah, you should be sorry. You know what I mean?
We didn't say
No,
that.
no, you're not. You're not
Okay.
like that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like I like to feel like that when I'm
Okay.
like early and somebody's late. So both cities have to learn from both. We got to just meet in the middle and
guess,
be
yeah.
on time, period.
Yeah.
Not
Just
early, not late.
Your lesson is seasonal depression. Stop.
Yeah, don't let the
it's
train
okay to be
system
late.
and don't let the
if
weather
you-
system affect your mood.
Yeah.
Learn to be happy on your
And
own.
learn to be late.
And learn to be late. And if unless it's for your job, don't stress about it too much. If the train this, the train that, bro. If you gotta be there, take an Uber. Or take a bike. Oh, dude, bikes. Love those fucking things, dude. I almost rode a bike today, but I was like, I'm gonna be extremely sweaty when I got there.
Yeah.
But dude, the fact that you can get to Queens, to Brooklyn in 27 minutes on a bike, beautiful. Also put a train between Queens and Brooklyn. That's another thing. Now this is just
Yeah,
all
he has a
messages.
list of
These are all
demands for New
messages
York
to
City.
whoever becomes mayor of New York the next few years. All right, dude. Whether it's who's running again, like Cuomo is running
There's just a
again.
bunch of people. There's a
Cuomo.
Latino running.
Zoran,
Zoran. That guy's gonna. I
Zoran.
think he's gonna get it, dude.
hopefully.
That guy's
Everyone's
the
talking
man.
about him,
Yeah, if he, dude, this is a message for my future mayor Soran. Please put AC systems on the AC and add a train system from
train.
Queens to Brooklyn, the city.
put more
I'll never
bikes.
go back to Miami again. I promise you. I'll be early and I'll never go back to Miami again. Do it. Test me. Test me. Put a train system between Queens and Brooklyn that gets me here in 20 minutes. Put AC in the trains. I'm never leaving New York City. That's it.
I mean,
I'll be the
technically,
press with all of you for 3 months. It's fine.
Technically, the G goes to Queens, but
Okay, let's
Who
not.
rides the G train?
Let's. What are you? Number one, where in Queens are you taking the G to? It doesn't go to
like
Queens.
Long Island City is Queens.
No, it barely goes there.
That's what I mean. Technically,
It barely goes there. I took the G train to get here, but I had to take, guess what? The N, the 7, then the G. That's what I had to take, dude. You gotta. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're sorry. No, it's fine. This
I'm
is
sorry
this
on
is how you
behalf
guys
of New
live.
York City, yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, it's okay. I'm the one living in Queens. It's my fault.
Yeah. I grew up in Queens, so
There you go.
I
Shout
took
out.
the bus everywhere.
That's something I will never do, but I respect that.
Where can everyone follow you?
Follow me on Instagram at Carlos CHRLOS. On TikTok, same username. And yeah, come out to shows. I put them all over on my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that. Follow me there.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for
I had so
having
much
me.
fun.
I
Yeah.
had a great time.
Yeah, we did it.
Down to a T.